Problem isn't your funnel, it's your calendar. My name is Dave Burnett, and I'm the founder of AOKmarketing.com, promotionalproducts.com, and co-founder of Achievers.com, which sold back in 2015 for $110 million. Let's get to it. How much does seasonality affect lead generation for your business? It's easy to think seasonality is only a problem for summer or holiday types businesses. But the truth is, just about every business is seasonal. It just shows up a little differently. Take Home Painters Toronto, for example, a client of ours. Their leads peak in warm months because of exterior painting and depends on the weather. They are, after all, based in Toronto, and Toronto gets some snow. But it's not just the pool guys and painters, because, pool guys, not a lot of pool work in the winter in Toronto either. Even high-level B2B ticket companies like, cybersecurity companies or content management system companies, they experience seasonal fluctuations based on budget cycles, fiscal year planning, and strategic buying behavior. Understanding when and why your audience is primed to convert is one way to try and stop fighting the calendar and start working with it. Let's talk about a couple different seasonal businesses here. So, Home Painters Toronto. Their lead gen success came from targeting those specific windows of opportunity. Campaigns during peak seasons generated conversion rates over 10% and cost per conversion as low as $25 by building on when people were looking for the services that they had to offer. So rather than trying to fight the season, they went with the season. We got another client that sells cybersecurity audits and penetration testing that have an average value of like $57,000 a sale. These are definitely not impulse buys. The sales cycles align with budgeted windows, typically Q1 and Q3. Campaigns during these periods show much higher close rates and justified like an over $5,000 cost per acquisition. Because every time you spend $5,000, you get 57. That math works out all right. Another one I want to talk about is events. So for one of our clients, they ran event-based campaigns for a particular campaign that happens, or a particular event that happens every year. And what happens is there tends to be, a pre-sales, pre-launch, and then a during launch, and then there's an early bird, and then there's a last minute. So there's a number of different cycles associated with interest for these types of events. Registrations surged in a predictable fashion, and as we ramped up advertising around those moments, we achieved 312% of their registration goal. Why? Because people buy tickets when a deadline looms. So urgency can be a seasonal trigger too. Just depends on how you use it. What you can do with all this information is beat the seasons. Now, seasonality isn't your enemy. You just got to understand that it's like a compass. Once you know the cycle, you can cut wasted spend during the slow months. You can maximize your ROI when buyers are ready, and you can build consistent revenue pipelines instead of riding the roller coaster. How do you do this? How do you harness this seasonality instead of fighting it? Number one, identify your patterns. So look back over the past 12 to 24 months of lead data. Where are the spikes? Where are the dips? Correlate that with time of year, industry events, budget cycles, and even external factors like weather, holidays, fiscal years, elections, anything that's bear and have an impact on the results that you're seeing. Two, segment your campaigns by season. So create different campaigns for your peak season. During peak season, maximize spend, push for conversions. During your off season, nurture leads, build your brand, test out some creatives. And in your pre-season, retarget your warm audiences that you built in the off season and start to build some urgency. Number three, budget accordingly. So reallocate your spend to match those high converting months. Use off-season periods to test and optimize without the same kind of pressure. You just need to sell that internally. Number four, create what we would call evergreen funnels. These can be long-tail campaigns, like SEO is a great long-tail campaign that would generate steady, passive leads regardless of the season. Just like one of our clients, Britannica, who leaned on evergreen keywords to offset school breaks and school slumps. Because Britannica, being education-based, tend to go in cycles related to the education industry. And then number five, anticipate buyer intent. If your audience has a long buying cycle, start earlier. Run awareness and engagement campaigns before the peak of the buying period. This works really well for big ticket items and events. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. First thing, understand your seasonal trends to stop chasing leads and start predicting them. Here's your plan. Number one, analyze past seasonal trends. Number two, align your campaigns with high intent windows. Number three, budget for when it matters. Number four, use off seasons for testing and nurturing. And number five, layer in some evergreen campaigns for stability. I hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.